last night, the San Francisco 49ers handed out an award. And that award was the 2025 Dwight Clark Award, which recognizes the player who best embodies the late Dwight Clark's spirit of teamwork and camaraderie. And the recipient of that award was cornerback Deommodore Lenoir. Now, the reason why I bring this up isn't to highlight the Dwight Clark Award, although that's a great thing for him. We all love Dwight Clark, RIP, hashtag 87 for life. But it's about what George Kittle, who won the inaugural award in 2021, said when introducing Lenoir last night in front of the faithful. And it's really important to note because I think Lenoir is and continues to be one of the most underrated and underappreciated, not just Niners, but players around the entire NFL. And Kittle said this: the way that Demo is every single day, nobody has to hype him up. He brings 100% effort. He brings 100% energy every single day. When you have someone who does that and loves their craft and loves the game of football, it brings everyone around him with him. He's an inspiration to guys on the team. And when you hear that and you pair that with Brock Purdy and George Kittle and Fred Warner, you start to get a real clear glimpse of the core and really who San Francisco continues, or like the type of player San Francisco continues to invest in. Good guys in the locker room and also great players on the field. There's a reason why you have a regime that has had so much sustained success. It's investing in guys like Lenoir, who continues to not get the credit and the respect he deserves. And with that said, we are calling out Pro Football Focus today because the hype has been out the wazoo for Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter this, Travis Hunter that. Will he be a cornerback? Will he be a receiver? Oh my God, what about Travis Hunter? And some of that may be justified. But PFF compiled a list of all the wide receivers and cornerbacks that Travis Hunter, who may or may not play both this year, but likely will at some point in his career, they compiled a list of receivers and cornerbacks that Hunter is going to match up against in 2025, his rookie season. Notably, the one key guy they left off was Deommodore Lenoir. And PFF, I get it. A lot of you are working hard out there. You do so much great work. You are a mainstay on the NFL mock draft simulator, a version of this show. When draft season comes around, PFF is the place to be for all of their work. Trevor Sikkema was awesome. A lot of great work out there for PFF. However, you have the audacity to include wide receivers named Rashee Rice, who somehow the NFL has not figured out what to do with him after last offseason's debacle of the accident he caused on the freeway. A nightmare for him. They have mentioned Marvin Harrison Jr., who I get it, big prospect, first-round pick last year. You can pitch me on the idea of having him on the list, but then you added Brandon Ayuk on there, who the Niners don't play Jacksonville till week 4. Ayuk's not going to be healthy by week 4, and I get it. You don't know that. There's no guarantees. I think we know he's not going to be there for the first few months of the season, but maybe that's just me. So Ayuk's on there, and I'm like, well, he's probably not going to play, but okay, let's say he does. Marvin Harrison Jr. is on there, second-generation star. Maybe he can become a great thing in year 2. But Rashee Rice is on there. Is that really a matchup you want to highlight? A guy that may or may not get suspended this year for what happened last year, and maybe this really isn't that great of a receiver. At least he isn't as good of a receiver as Lenoir is as a cornerback, but then it gets worse and almost is kind of shocking and kind of dumb when you turn things to the cornerback matchups Hunter may have as a wide receiver. And if you've been looking at the training camp footage and the OTA footage of the Jaguars, which I don't think you have out there in Jacksonville, but he's only been taking wide receiver reps. So the cornerback matchups to me are a bigger highlight amongst the fan base of the NFL. They mention players like Devin Witherspoon, which I think Lenoir's better than him. But then they have the audacity to mention, and I love this player, but they mentioned him twice. That doesn't make sense to me. They mentioned Travarius Ward twice. Now, I love Mooney Ward. I wish him all the best out there in Indianapolis. I can't wait to watch him come, or us to go play them later this year. Who doesn't love Mooney, right? He's an awesome player. He's one of the best players of this regime's history from 2017 to now. Probably one of the best cornerbacks not named Richard Sherman. And he's on there twice. Why couldn't you just put week blank and week blank, not have him on there twice? But then they went even crazier and said L'Jarius Sneed twice. And okay, it's no knock on L'Jarius Sneed, but I mean, is Lenoir better than L'Jarius Sneed? You can put those answers down below in the comments, but I think the answer is clearly yes. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to do a deep dive. Where and how did Lenoir's stats stand out last year? How good were they really? Am I maybe over-exaggerating how good he is and why leaving him off the list is just, I don't know, like, what were you thinking? Because I dove back into the tape, and I even used PFF as reference. Last year, Lenoir played 15 games, okay? 15 games. 516 coverage snaps. He allowed 0 touchdowns, had 2 interceptions, had 9 pass breakups, had a 72.6 passer rating allowed when targeted last year, and according to PFF, had a 71.7 PFF coverage grade. That's well above average. In fact, it's really good amongst cornerbacks. And scored 1 special teams touchdown off a blocked field goal attempt, not to mention the longest reception he allowed all year in coverage was 29 yards. Again, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown on special teams for him via a kick return block for a touchdown, and only 29 yards being his longest reception. Then you rewind the clock and say, really? Rashee Rice? Really? Marvin Harrison Jr.? Really? Devin Witherspoon? Really? L'Jarius Sneed? Twice? Mooney Ward? He can be on there once, but twice? It's no disrespect to all the other guys on the list, but the disrespect is getting out of hand for a player like Lenoir. He means so much to this team, but I really think he belongs in the conversation as one of the best cornerbacks in football. I get it. He's a smaller guy. He doesn't stand out in the crowd, but he does all the dirty work right. He has been locked down for about 3 years now. And as a 5th-round pick, he has become one of the next 5th-round pick selections of San Francisco to boom in the Kittle, Greenlaw, DJ Jones, now Lenoir conversation of massive day 3 picks to become almost superstars for them. Got a massive contract last year during the season for a reason. Lenoir is incredible. He's awesome. And for the first time, PFF, I need you to put some respect on Lenoir's name.